know how I feel.
It's just backs on this mirror window trying to stave them off, but it's just coming.
You know how I feel.
He's gonna take down Poison. He's gonna make it a 4v4 for Sneak.
You know how I feel.
That maybe not even Valkyrie herself, and she is aware.
It's a new life.
He's not aware that Envy's here, and Envy will pick him up.
And I'm feeling.
Also on 1 HP, I didn't notice that one.
And I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine.
Good evening, not afternoon, because you guys are a lot later time than I am. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Talent League Season 5 as we're getting through our Champions League tournament. Going on today, we've got, I believe, a semifinals matchup is what it will be between Ruhrsports and Noetic, our 3-time consecutive champion here so far the past 3 years. We'll see if they can keep that up going on today to see if they can at least get a finals berth. But before we get into all of that, I am more of a familiar face than my co-partner on the desk here today. I am Cherish, and joined with me is Mr. Excellent. How are you doing today?
I am doing pretty well. I'm excited to see this game go on. I mean, both these teams, they seem quite strong, I can't lie. Obviously, it does seem like Noetic are the stronger team, but the map choices could sway it either way. That's all I can say at the moment. It's going to be a very interesting game.
Yeah, as we're looking at it, like I had said, Noetic is, even if they're not necessarily just straight up a stronger team, which I still think they are a more storied team. They do have 3 finals berths and wins in a row. But they do have a little bit of a roster shakeup as of late this season. They've dropped Crack, or rather, Crack has retired, and Keto has been placed on the backside of things onto the bench. Keto was typically a support player, and I think Crack was a flex or a second entry. So a little bit of a shakeup there. They've brought in Boyster and Nago in the meantime to fill that up, while Ruhrsports' lineup has stayed the same. Just to clear up any confusion, too, Clutcher, Skies, and Naquo are still on the team for Noetic. So all pretty familiar names on the board regardless. But yeah, looking at it, I know you mentioned
What the fuck was this guy, bro?
The maps could be a bit interesting as they're talking in the lobby, and that made me laugh because they were very loud. Yeah, you mentioned the maps is, we've got a little bit of familiarity, but also just some interest coming in at least the 2 maps that we will be seeing today.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the second map is Bank. I
Mhm.
do believe, and that is a map that you don't see a lot of play from that map, especially in the amateur leagues, and obviously this being one of them. But it's such an interesting map, obviously, since the new recent changes. They've removed the bars, they've moved a few things around. Overall, it is a better map now, and obviously that is why they brought it back into comp. We're gonna have to see how teams can actually adapt back into these old playstyles. Obviously, they're gonna have to change a few things here and there. So changing these playstyles around, I want to see how these teams perform on this map because they must have had such a long time away from it.
Yeah, it's been out now for about a year, or rather out of the pool for about a year. It's come back in the past couple of weeks is what it was. And I'm, I think out of the 3 maps they changed up, Bank, Coast, and Club, I think it was kind of the middle ground, um, where it didn't get, like, I think Close or Club No, I think actually Bank did get the least because of how Club changed around the bar site, but um yeah, it probably was, the changes weren't as drastic compared to the amount of changes from Bank or from Coastline rather. So it plays out very similarly to how it did before. Um but there are some small tweaks as well, like you mentioned, a couple changes on some bars and stuff, as well as removing that annoying top garage peak that a lot of attackers would do. They'd kind of sprint up to the top of the garage and just start spraying through the windows to try and catch someone off guard, and that was very obnoxious. But yeah, uh, we'll definitely get to be seeing that alongside Clubhouse, which is our first map picked up by Noetic. We're picked up Bank, where we'll be starting on defense on Club. And that would leave, as we go through the map ban stuff as well, that would leave um, Villa as our decider. So a lot of familiarity in Club and Villa. Bank just being, like you said, not a lot of teams will be picking it the same way that Chalet was early on. Teams in best of threes would almost handshake Chalet out just because no one would ban it first and no one wanted to play it. It would kind of go through. So that's why we're a bit shocked that Bank was able to make it through. But I'm excited to get to finally cast it for the first time in over a year now that I haven't gotten to see Bank. I'm really looking forward to that. And we're just now looking through, waiting for the lobby to come in. But um, yeah, looking really fast, something that I did want to mention too is neither of the maps that these two teams played against one another. This is a matchup from Major League between Ruhr and Noetic here. They played on Oregon and Cafe last, where Noetic won 8-7-7-4 over Ruhr. So neither of those teams were, or neither of those maps, rather, made it on through past, honestly, the first band rotation, which is kind of funny. Um, which meant off the bat we were going to get new maps to be seen from these teams. So it's not really like we can predict how this one's going to look.
There's not really too much you can predict here. Like, just we don't have enough statistics to really go off here to say how they're going to play, because it's exactly how you said it. A really interesting thing I like to see are the maps, of course. Like you have these first two maps which have had changes. Clubhouse, obviously, bar has been changed around. There's been doorways added and stuff like that, and then obviously Bank with all the changes you've already mentioned. And I really like the final potentially being Villa, because obviously that map, it can be so like it can go either way. It can be defender sided, it can be attacker sided. You can say that with every map, but with Villa, it's quite a balanced map. And it seemed like recently, in the past couple of months as well, and even the past year, it started to go more towards the attacking side. So with the team's playstyles, I want to see how they manage to play it, because it's just such an interesting map to see two teams shake off against, because it can be so frag heavy, it can be so strategy orientated, and however this goes, however this best of three goes, I wish luck to both teams, and this is going to be such a good game. I can't wait.
Yeah, it definitely will be. I'm very, I don't know. We haven't seen a ton of bar play from a lot of teams on Club in general, at any level. So I'm pretty sure that Club is just going to end up playing out the same exact way it always has, which I'm not excited for, because that has led to some pretty boring play, just pretty standard, typical, just everything that you're used to and would expect happens, and it's kind of to watch. Um, so I'm definitely looking to see if either of these teams pull out anything interesting, especially just because I know Noetic has pulled out some interesting strats on maps like Oregon before, and I don't think I've gotten to cast their club in a little bit at the least. So, if at all, rather. So I'm looking forward to seeing if they have any interesting strats to pull out. And I'm hoping that they can do something fun because this map can get very stale very fast. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be, I believe Noetic starts on the attack. Yeah. Ruhr has picked up their defenses. We're waiting on Mr. Skies to join the lobby. He's taken his sweet old time here. Just the last one to join. But yeah, is there anything, about, let's see. Is there anything, what can we talk about? I hate talking too fast because I'll always get to this point where I'm not sure what to talk about on the map, especially for a map like Club, because I feel like we could go on and on about Bank, but we're not going to see Bank for an entire map. And it's, I don't know, Club has been so talked about and talked through and everything. Something to talk about. You guys can't see it and you won't see it. Yele is Silver 1. That's a tragedy. Dude, I don't know what happened this season, but man, he's... Oh, cool. Sky's joined. We're gonna get ready up really fast. Oh, actually, yeah, that'll be a good one to point out. Are there any interesting bands you're expecting here, Mr. Excellent?
Interesting bands? No, I'm expecting the bog standard bands of like the Maverick and the Thatcher, and then on the defense it can be a bit more different, but maybe a Mirror, maybe a Maestro, just Valkyrie, just these very default operator bands. Maybe even Mute, because he is a very strong operator nowadays. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Obviously, it's Ruhr with the first ban. And yeah, I mean, they're on the defense. I'm expecting Maverick to be most likely. I mean, Hibana ban could come through, which would be a little bit different. Still nothing too out of the box, and it is the Hibana ban. There we are.
Yeah, that's definitely a little interesting, to say the least. But it is going to be then Thatcher or Maverick left up. I assume Maverick. Yeah, a lot of teams prefer running Maverick or leaving up Maverick than Thatcher just because it's a lot easier to work around a Maverick than a Thatcher just because he counters so much. But with that being said, this should be a Cade ban, like you were saying, the absolute standard of all bans so far. And I'm probably going to say Wamai.
I mean, that would be quite an interesting ban, obviously. He's quite good at catching, obviously, these projectiles, Capital especially. But no, it's the Valkyrie. Some very, very default bans coming in here. Obviously, Hibana's not as banned as I would say Maverick is for this map. But obviously, leaving the Maverick in play, like you did say, it is much easier to counter a Maverick on certain sites, I would say. I'd say, obviously, since Bandit Tricking went out of favor, no one really does that anymore. It's trying to ban the trick CC wall is just not even worth it, especially with Mavericks in play, as we all seen him get picked up by Nego there. And it's going to be a very default operator lineup as well, but look at this. That is not default. They're going to bar. Wow, Here we are. First round, and we're going to the reworked site. Not really reworked, just a little bit changed, but I am excited to see this. I want to see how they managed to hold this. The castle, obviously. When people did used to play this site, very rarely, they'd have a castle. So, obviously, it gives you a lot of feet angles and stuff like that, but I am very excited for this first round.
This is the first time I've ever had to write bar stage or bar stock in my my notes. So as you guys can see, one of the changes that came up is that this site is now bar stage, is no longer bar stock. So that quick little plant outside the front, that little door through stock, no longer happens, which is very nice to see for the teams that do want to decide to go here for whatever reason. There's a lot of opening of shotgun holes up above and a lot of movement going on up above, it appears here from Ruhrsports, as Mr. Fox will be dropping that back down to the billiards room. And they're pulling off what realistically I would have to assume is going to have to be a standard for this site if you do choose to hold here. Doing a lot of vertical down play. But yeah, I'm excited that we are starting off here and that Ruhr is so comfortable on this site, especially that we do get to see how they're planning to work on it. At the same time, Boyster rather is pulling out a buck, which is not something we really see that much anymore. We do see a lot more sledge still, even after the SMG nerf, than buck. So I'm interested to see how Noetic will work around with this operator in their back pocket in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, Sledge is the more picked operator. Seeing Buck is quite interesting, obviously, but you get more range, and there we are. The first pick has gone out. Neko, as he does find the pick onto Icokes, and already they're taking control of CC, they're taking control of Cash. All the utility that's been there to try to stop them, try to slow them down, has been depleted. Only a minute as well. They've done all this in a minute. They've taken really good control in the very limited time that they have managed to use so far. Obviously, they are going to have to clear the rest of the top 4 if they want to go for that more standardized push, but it seems like some of the defenders will be moving their way downstairs. It seems like all of them now have fell back to the site. It's just going to keep Noetic guessing on if they are still there. Obviously, the drones are going to be used, going to find them out anyway, but Fox does get a refrag a bit late, but obviously the pick is coming regardless onto Boyster. Your Buck's gone, your vertical play, well, your strong vertical play regardless, has been taken out.
Yeah, but with this minute to go, the wall towards the stockroom has been opened on up. Noetic is priming themselves very early on, frankly, all considered, for this push. Clutcher has not traded himself out. He's been down by Matrix here, as Matrix with a quick shot is going to take the head off of Nago in the meantime. He's got Clutcher to confirm, but he will be rezzed in the meantime. Guys trying to bank a nade will get that one caught by a Wamai disc as well. Things are looking like a struggle here for Noetic, and really well done by Ruhrsports. Another headshot from... Actually, Clutcher picks one up in Sky, swings it back in his team's favor. Noetic now up 3 men to 2. Heyman is on very low HP, and he has to retake above. He does have a nitro in his pocket, and it's just risky on site all alone. Heyman is getting a flank from above, and with 20 seconds left, this could prove potent, but he's all alone. He's taking the head off of Skies. It's just him as Clutcher is rotating to bar side from stage side to get the plant down. Heyman coming for a rotation is going to get cut down right off the bat by Naquo, and that will be round 1, looking a little chaotic at a point, but Noetic swung it back in their favor regardless, doing really well for themselves off the bat.
Yeah, very shaky round there, of course. It just went back and forth constantly. It did seem like Fox may have picked up the pick from Blue as well, but no, he just didn't find the shots. And obviously, it got brought back into the favor of Noetic. Went back, that was the complete back and forth round. And then obviously, Naquo, on the Zofia, managed to completely just reading like a book when he tried to rotate back down those main stairs, shut him down. The first round going to Noetic, but it wasn't too convincing, I cannot lie.
I definitely agree. I think, too, it comes down in a bit to missed shots. I believe it was Fox was on the castle there. And if he lands any of those shots onto Skies, I believe... I'm having trouble remembering who was who there in that little weird engagement by the secret stairs. But I think definitely if that kill goes down, things are very different here for Ruhrsports in that round. They probably have more success. But away from that, I know you were mentioning early on that a lot of teams have fallen away from bandit use on this site, CCTV. And you're right. It's starting, I think it's starting to worm its way back in, weirdly enough. I don't know why all of a sudden teams stopped playing it and now want to do it again. But it is trying to make its way back on in. However, that's not really going to matter for Nago as, or Nago? I'm going to say Nago. It's not really going to matter for him because this is Maverick's whole thing. Especially with Maverick tricking, he can just ignore the electric, as Clutcher's going to open up down below into Garage in the meantime. Fox is not going to be active tricking as well. You just saw him over in the strip side of things, as Cokes got down from somewhere. He was already very low from another spray in the meantime, but that main wall has been opened on up very quickly on as well. And I know we mentioned in the first round, but Noetic has been very fast moving so far on these attacks.
Yeah, I mean, just we're not even halfway into the round yet. They've already got the wall open. Obviously, using Maverick to his fullest potential. Obviously, downing Cokes as well. He got sprayed before the start of the round. Obviously, I do believe this was just after he finished reinforcing. And then, obviously, he tried to rush it back up. And I do believe it was the player on the rappel watching the Maverick trick who found him. Already, though, we have seen Fox almost getting his head taken off there. He has decided to go back to the side, but risky. Heyman below, but a grenade goes out and finds a beautiful pick onto Heyman. That is Raptor's control. That can be seized. The second one gets found onto Risky. He's not fooling anyone, just playing below in Oil Pit. And we have Boyster as well, going for this flank as well, going for a pinch. Obviously, they're already in a two-man advantage, so the last remaining members of Ruhr are going to have to be careful, but Cokes does find one as well back onto Boyster, of course, and that is the pinch. It has been shut down for now. Another one gets found by the Melusa there, Matrix. The swing's coming around, but Skies, he picks up one, and now they're just trying to rotate back into the site. There it is. Third one gets picked, and Jesus Christ, he's just going into the site. He's taking everyone out. Absolutely amazing play by him. He's just walking in. Wow.
Yeah, a whole lot of knowledge too from Noetic. They're just so comfortable attacking, so comfortable moving through that site wherever they want to go, wherever they need to go. And they're moving so fluidly and so quickly together. They opened the basement, or not the basement, sorry, the garage panel, as well as the main wall by a minute 50 left in the round. That's just over a minute that it took to open two separate walls, and then thereby quickly gain that garage control by a minute and a half left in the round. That's half the round that they have to play with then, when a lot of teams in the past that are typically seen can't get that control that fluidly, that quickly. So, along with losing Heyman up in the rafters thanks to a well-placed grenade from, I believe, Skies, it's been great work so far from Noetic in these past two rounds. This last round on CC, a bit more convincing than the bar stock attack, or the bar stage now. But they're good. Ruhrsports is going to come right back here to CC. And if you can, I know it's hard to pick only a handful of things, talent, or excellent, sorry. We are talent, you're excellent, my bad. But if there's only, so many things that you can pick out, what do you think Ruhrsports can really should fix up on this round to figure things out to make this one successful?
Well, in my opinion, obviously, it's really just where they're playing, how they're playing, and obviously, they're not really getting any, there's not anyone there to pick up a refrag right away if a player gets downed or taken out, of course, and it seems like they are playing a little bit aggressive sometimes, as we are seeing there, as Matrix, he's going for a wild swing there, but doesn't find anything. But yeah, it seems like the coordination isn't there as well, like, nowhere near as well as we are seeing Noetic. And there's nothing that they can really do about that at the minute, obviously, because of how well Noetic are playing as a team. They're taking control, they're using all their utility to their fullest advantage. They're not wasting anything, but Matrix, damn. Through the drone, finding a bit of damage there onto Skies as he's playing outside.
Yeah, a good little bit of chip damage done from both teams, and that's a little bit more than a chip. Third opening kill in a row here for Noetic. 3 different players have had opening kills for Noetic. Boyster almost got refragged for his opener onto Cokes there, but he will just barely survive on blinking health alongside Clutcher, who also had an engagement early on with Matrix. Nitro looking from Fox, should be able to confirm Boyster as long as the nade from below from Nago does not confirm both him and Risky, and it's just up to Matrix. just very quickly. The Flawless will be denied by a quick shot onto what remained of Boyster. But this round is done and dusted already, all thanks to Nago with a nice nade from below. The timeout has already been called by Cokes here for Ruhrsports as Matrix is doing what he can. Can't do anything. Naquo finishes the round off. Huge nade from the Maverick from below will confirm 2 and shut down the round essentially in its tracks for the side of Noetic.
That was absolutely beautiful. Of course, we did see, I do believe it was Fox getting ready to throw that C4 outside the breach, potentially picking up, well, maybe even 2 players there, but the Maverick from below completely shuts down his plans. They're managing to find the picks. Such good game knowledge there, knowing the most likely place they're going to be, finding 2 picks as well. That is absolutely amazing. And as well as the fact that just how quickly they can take control, how quickly they can just shut anything that happened down. Like I was going to say earlier on, it seemed like it could have been a winnable round for Ruhr, because obviously we did see 2 of the Noetic players, like you said, on blinking health. So 1 bullet from any of the members of Ruhr would have been able to take them down, but no. They just got absolutely demolished. That was the most convincing round we've seen so far. They played so well as a team, isolating these players, finding these beautiful little frag grenades from below, winning the gunfights as we did see there, only losing 1 man after they managed to find 4 in their place originally. A really good round from them there. And now we're going to see them try to go to the basement site now, of course, having lost CCTV twice.
Yeah, can't really, you don't want to give up a round on gym bedroom just because it's not that strong of a site for many teams. Can't really go back to bar stock, although, granted, I think it might work. Their strategy was pretty sound going up into Noetic, but I think the novelty of the site has worn off. The shock value has worn off for Ruhr, and Noetic might know and adjust very well for that. Like you said, you just lost CC twice in a row. 2 very handily done times by Noetic, so it'll be tough to find a site here for Ruhr, as they will be going down to Church Arsenal for their for their 3rd showing, rather. But so far will be, I believe, just a normal, bunker setup. They're going to be playing as much down in the basement as possible. Very little roam game, this way that we've seen roam strategies set, like the Space Station pioneered roam, where you have Mute Mozzie, that sort of thing, as that a lot of teams have both contemplated and created on their own. As Risky gets into a bit of a gunfight here with Skies, both of them taking almost to exactly the same HP, in fact, as I've just noticed. And Matrix has found Nago. Nago is going to... Both of them are actually going to run away from that fight rather than contest each other, which is nice to see. But all told, everyone for Ruhrsports is back on site now, and only a minute into the round, Noetic has already taken all the map control, at least upstairs, that they could possibly need.
Yeah, like, once again, they're showing just how fast they can take control of this map. Obviously, early in the round, when we did see the potential for a gunfight, they both decided to back off. Don't want to lose an early player, but it seems like, well, all cards are out the window at this point. They've taken the control, they're opening up the vertical. Hatches will soon to get opened up as well. Skies, he's just playing at the bottom of these main stairs. Obviously, just peeking some angles, waiting for someone to run into him. He's not playing too aggro, of course, because he doesn't want to get picked off early on, because then you lose the potential for cross angle. Hatch is now being opened, I do believe, most likely being the kitchen one as well. There's no one able to impact Trick, of course, since we don't see the Wham I bringing those grenades. And I mean, yes, there's a minute and 15, that is plenty of time for them to go to this push. Yeah, and they have the health advantage as well. They've opened up dirt now as well, so there's so many different angles they can push from at this point. Really, Ruhr are going to be in a very tight situation there. They're going to be stuck between the crosshairs and the mercy of Noetic. They're going to have to win these gunfights.
Yeah, definitely going to have to do what they can, as site does pretty heavily rely on those crossfire gunfights. It's a nice nade yet again. Probably the 3rd or 4th this game so far that has resulted in a kill as a nice shot from Fox is going to get retraded out by Boyster, but Boyster runs into the gunfire of Risky. Risky now taken right back as give and go, trade for trade, coming out for Noetic and Ruhr. No, Naquo with a nice shot will take the head clean off the body of Matrix, as now it's just Heyman yet again, this time in a 1v2, as he's cleaned up another one for himself onto Naquo. It's just him against Clutcher and Sky. Sky's caught down in the basement, looking Naquo in the kitchen, holding firm. Actually, that is, or Clutcher rather, but it was swapped around. Sorry, Skies was in the kitchen, and now confirm 4 straight rounds off of 4 straight entry kills for the side of Noetic. They are sweeping through Ruhrsports here so far, playing fantastically clean and looking great doing it.
Honestly, Sky's that round. He, yeah, the entire team obviously going back and forth with those picks. Sky's managed to find, I do believe it was the opening pick with the grenade. And then from there, he stays alive, he covers the plant, and then he just plays his position really well, as we have been seeing him do for so long. Every single member of Noetic are playing their role so well. Of course, there are people playing better than others, but as a team, as a whole, they have such great coordination, they fit together so well, and I can honestly see why they are winning 4-0. They've taken advantage of all the weak points in Ruhr's defense, and they're just completely exploiting them. They're destroying them one by one, picking them apart piece by piece, and there's nothing they can do about it. Obviously, the refrags do come there sometimes, but when you have players like Naquo finding amazing flicks through the wall like that, that is insane.
ATS deployed and ready to go.
Yeah, that... I don't even think I gave that shot
10 seconds to insertion.
the hype that it deserved. That was...
5 seconds to
wow.
insertion.
That was a shot there from Naquo. He hit that nasty one, and I mean, that shut down really any retake hope for Ruhrsports here. And I don't think that'll be the one that breaks the camel's back, but that definitely is not helping Ruhr at all. Now already Noetic getting through their fast clear, gonna come in, and Boyster confirms his second entry. A 5th in a row for Noetic, as Risky was caught on a well-placed cam, and this is already looking really good for Noetic, just because Nago and Boyster are fairly new for this roster, and they're meshing so fantastically already. This team is so clean already. A Nitro went up somewhere and dealt a good chunk of Boyster's health, but not enough to claim him right back, and just like that, Heyman should get it back? No, he's not going to send up his Nitro just yet. But already, oh, there it is.
Spoke too soon a little bit there.
Yeah.
As we do see the Nitro go out. Find Boyster, obviously being the book, being your main vertical man. Now with that gone, it should allow some of the members of Ruhr to play inside of the basement. We're going to have to see how they play it though. Matrix, he's waiting for this Maverick to swing him. Nago, of course, being that man, but he sees him first. He finds a bit of damage onto him. He's going for the swing as well. Not expecting him to, he expects him to run back, but that is not the case. A bit of a misplay there by Nago as Matrix does manage to find him. Now 4 versus 3 in favor of Ruhr, in favor of this defense. It looks like they're in quite a good position at the minute. However, Clutcher does know the locations of 2 of the members of Ruhr. Seems like they may be going for a drop very soon, as we do see them now starting to send down the flashbangs, and the concussions are soon to follow. Clutcher has now already, though, he has lost most of his HP. Never mind, all of his HP as Youngstars take him down. And now it's 2 versus 4. It seems like Ruhr may be able to put a round on the board. Skies and Naquo, two very strong members of this team, both of them doing so well in their respectable positions, but they have 50 seconds left. They're going to have to make a play soon.
Yeah, 2v4, this round swung so quickly in favor of Ruhr. This could be the round that they need, as Naquo will start to bring the comeback in for Noetic, but the rest of Ruhr are not giving Noetic any openings. They're holding crosses together very safely from a bunch of safe positions here, as it's just Skies and Naquo. These two together have done many clutches, but it won't be happening this time around. Quick headshots from Fox and from Matrix will end the round, end the reign of terror from Noetic at 4 in a row. And the streak ends at 5 entry kills as well. That were not, the 5th was not successful, and a good start, hopefully, for Ruhr to begin their comeback.
Yeah, it seems like that could be the case, of course. And honestly, from what we've seen so far, it seems like whoever is getting that opening pick is taking control of the round, as we have seen. Obviously, Noetic being the more likely candidate, having those 4 attacking rounds. Obviously, this map is usually a 4-2 split for the defense. So, Ruhr are on the ropes at the moment, but they are starting to bring it back. They're starting to show the potential, and potential could certainly be shown here as they are going back to bar and stage. Of course, the last defense here was a very close round, but obviously they didn't end up losing. But they did quite well to defend this last time around. We're going to have to see how Noetic have adapted. Obviously, they're bringing the same operator lineup they always have. Nothing's really been changed too much. And they don't really need to change the lineup, though, knowing that, because they have all the intel they need, and all of them playing their respectable operators in very good fashion. However, it doesn't seem like Ruhr are changing anything up either, so they're going to have to try to play this site a bit better, because obviously they lost their first man on this site last time as well. And like I said, whoever gets that first pick controls the round and ends up winning.
Yeah, it definitely has done very well. And I'm surprised that Ruhr was able to swing everything back that quickly, that easily, considering that Risky got his head taken off just 20-30 seconds into the round. Boyster really just sprinted on in there and was able to take down the aggressive position. And Skies will punish Risky this time yet again. A nice headshot from the Yana will confirm 6 straight entry kills for the side of Noetic. 2 for Boyster, 2 for Skies at the least, and I think 1 for Naquo and Nago as well. But 5v4 early on again for Noetic. But again, another equalizer this time around coming from Cokes.
Yeah, just back and forth is the name of this map. It seems both teams find a pick. There's always someone there to reply. Seems to be a spray goes for the wall, almost hitting that player in the head there. Skies having very good game knowledge to know the potential locations, but never mind. A trade comes in from either of them. Wow, bringing it to a 3 versus 3. Having Skies and Naco gun being your entry fraggers, it's going to be a bit more difficult, of course. These other 3 players are going to have to try and bring something out, and there we have it. Oyster has a really nice little spray there. As he does take out, I do believe that was Heyman. The drone goes out, sees Cokes, and he's going to be rotating his way back towards him instead. The spray's coming out from behind him, and a beautiful pick comes out as he just managed to get that flick. Oh, Naco just typing a bunch of letters in the chat. He may be shocked about that.
Yeah, not sure how Boyster missed that one, or how Cokes even got out of that position. He was caught in a weird one there, and was able to make it on out. So, that puts us in a 2-on-2, just under a minute to go. It is Clutcher and Nago with a lot of map control at their disposal here. And a lot to work with. Drone work coming in as well from Nago. Mute Jammer, which we haven't really seen a ton of play from, is going to stall out one of these drones. Matrix took a good chunk of damage thanks to Clutcher. Cokes and Matrix are stuck in awkward spots. Now Cokes pushing out. Matrix will be the one to fall in return as Cokes takes down Clutcher. It's just Nago, the new member of Noetic here, having to find Cokes. And he's going to team kill, trying to find the Jaeger, but win it out with a headshot. Noetic confirmed 5 attacking rounds out of 6 here for themselves. And a excellent attacking half, to say the least, for our reigning champions.
Well, it seems like that Maverick wanted to get a couple of kills as he went out. Obviously, he doesn't care about his team. He's like, nah, you can go. You're downed. I don't care. I'm going to get the kill anyway. Very confident man. Of course, he didn't really mean to. At least I think. Unless he is just a very kill-hungry man. And of course, now we are on the second half. Noetic on their defense. And they're going to CCTV and Cash. It seems like we're maybe getting a pause here, but they're playing Tachanka. And Tachanka is not... Oh, maybe not. No, we're not getting Tachanka. He's switching off to Malusi. Going to CC, so everything I was going to say, out the window, of course, bringing the Malusi. And Bandit, like you said, he's worming his way back in. We are seeing Bandit get picked again. I'm doubting a Maverick trick, of course, since... a Bandit trick, sorry, as that is really just not really worth doing if Maverick's in play. And yeah, we're just going to have to see how it goes.
Yeah. Something interesting too from Ruhr that we didn't see from Noetic was that Clutcher was all on Thermite. There we go. I haven't seen that operator too much, and I've completely forgotten his name because the operator that Risky has picked up has taken over his role. Ace is coming out for the first time this game, as it's interesting that we didn't see him at all before. But we'll get to see how Ruhr wants to work with slightly less explosive entry. Granted, is more maneuverable than Thermite charges are. So we'll see how Risky wants to play around with that. Maverick's still on the board as well as a Buck, but no Zofia. It's an Ashe for Matrix here. Running the classic Ashe Jaeger pairing that a lot of players will do. Skies has shifted to the more commonplace Iana Jaeger as of late. But we'll get to see how the Ashe works here for Ruhr, as they're not going to have those concusses, not going to have any flashbangs on that operator either. And there's still the Aruni gates that need to be dealt with. There's a severe lack of throwables outside from Cokes' flashbangs, so unless you want to waste drones or ace charges or what else? Frag grenades. Yeah, there's not a ton that you can throw through other than those Iana clones, which will put Fox in a very high demand here on this site.
A very interesting thing I want to point out there is, of course, we saw Bandit. Neko, he placed all of his charges on the garage walls, which obviously leaves the main wall exposed. Of course, there's nothing to stop it, but it doesn't really matter in the end because that wall gets open regardless when Maverick is in play. It seems like they're probably going to be going for a Maverick trick anyway, because I do believe it was the Cokes on the books to open it up just a minute ago. A very iffy Maverick trick there is you just see it's going up and down a little bit there. Seems like he may have had some contention at some point, but the wall is getting open regardless by him now. It's Heyman. He's got this open. The wall should get open unless he manages to die somehow. We'll just have to wait and see as Cokes is holding the angle. Butcher is on the receiving end of some bullets, but Heyman does get lit up as well. The wall is now opened, however. A minute and 50 seconds left. The quick picks are coming in from the player at the top of the red stairs, but the first pick comes in. Nago, as he does take out Heyman, your Maverick's gone. Your frag grenades as well, but the refrag is there, as we have seen so many times this game, bringing it to a 4 versus 4. Boyster, he's going to have to hold on to rafters.
Yeah, we have seen a ton of these trades come out through and through this game so far. I think just to tie in the things that you've said so far, you know, you mentioned that all the bandit charges were down below, as those bandit charges are going to give a lot of info down here. And there's one entry kill, and there's another here for Neko. He's done up to 10, and it's all up to Cokes on his own, walking through the garage door. Boyster was picked up in the meantime, but I think he picked up one for himself as well onto Risky here. Matrix, or rather, I think it was Fox. I'm not sure at that point, but all that's left is Cokes. As you were mentioning too, the wall would be open regardless with Maverick, whether there was Bandit or not on that platform wall, so why not just put the Bandit charges elsewhere? And that was, I guess, the thinking for Noetic here, is they're looking to confirm overtime with Nago, swinging out wide, able to confirm the last kill, and put a 6-1 here for Noetic. Very soundly in the lead, very soundly setting up at the least overtime here.
I said it earlier on in the game, and I'll say it again, Ruhr against the ropes. They're going to have to really bring this back. They have to pull something out the hat to just... They need some tricks to put Noetic in their place, obviously. Being 6-1 in the lead, and it seems like maybe we're seeing Noetic getting a little bit well, confident with these operator choices. You've got the Alibi, you've got Tashanka, and Thunderbird as well. Very, very rare operator. Yeah, this is the first time.
Yeah,
Here we are. We're
I
seeing
did totally
Thunderbird.
forget that Thunderbird was allowed now that Bank is in as well. So, yeah, we've got Thunderbird, we've got Tatanka, like you were mentioning, down in the basement. I think this is a site that I haven't been watching as much Pro League as in past seasons, just because I've been caught working, I've been busy, that sort of thing. So, but from what I've seen from little highlights and stuff, this is the site that she's used on the most. It enables a very aggressive playstyle on this site, which is very interesting to see, as you're able to either use her on the roam, as I believe Mago is going to be doing here, a very janky place, Kona Station, but you could also just enable a very aggressive playstyle upstairs, like how Noetic is doing, and then you run downstairs or run to the first floor and you have a Kona Station. You have whatever HP that you lost back in your pocket again. So the fact that it is permanent health and not a temp health the way that other operators have been, like Finka. Finka was also changed recently. And Thunderbird will be the one to open things up here. With one quick shot from Matrix in the meantime. But it is 3-on-3 with 45 seconds into the round. What is going on?
Yeah, now this has been mad already. Like, you've lost Nago, you've lost Skies, being some very good players, of course, but Thunderbird is the first operator to find a pick, and I am very happy for it. The first round we've ever seen them, and they've already done a very good job. And obviously on the side of Rue as well, you've lost your Yana, you've lost the nades, you've lost those replicators as well, and then the Ash, who obviously is not as good as Ash, I would say, anymore, since the multiple nerfs we've seen Ash have. RIP Ash, you will be missed. You also sort of won't be missed because the R4C ACOG was a bit of a menace. Well,
yeah, I did totally forget about that, huh? God, that was a thing that used to exist.
Yeah, and we did see there, a mist drone came out. They did not manage to see Necro, but he's getting out there regardless. He didn't manage to find any picks just yet. He's just going to be playing in bar. Obviously, he is stuck between a rock and a hard place at the moment. Drones are on him. Players are converging in on his position. He's going to try to retreat his way out. Takes about half his HP as he does leave, but he has successfully managed to get his way back towards blue. Should be able to get back to site and hold his position from there with just a minute left. This attack is going to have to come in very soon. The ace helmets are getting used onto the Moto hatch. Obviously, Maverick can do the other half. So they shouldn't have any issues getting it open up unless someone decides to swing and maybe get a few shots on. But you have the book watching. You should be completely fine, but time's ticking. The hatch is open and they have 50 seconds.
Yeah, 50-45 now, as most of this wall is open, interestingly. I've just come to notice. Risky staring that one down, very afraid of what could come up from it, as the Tachanka will lose his head after firing off some shots. Boisters died in every single round, despite this one being 6-1 for his team. And it's looking like it'll be 6-2. It's just up to Clutcher. He has to do just that, and he won't. Taking the head right off of his body will be the Maverick in a quick round, or a very solid round, looking for the side of Ruhr, able to come back very solidly, very comfortably from that very early bout of aggression. That was very weird to see, frankly, because that was a lot coming out very quickly on.
Yeah, losing like almost half of the lobby in about 45 seconds, it's a bit iffy, I can't lie, because obviously it gives the attack more time to push through. Obviously, they didn't manage to find the pick onto the bandit when he was playing upstairs, but they won the round regardless. And one thing I have to say, Clutcher, your name is false information, I'm sorry. You need to do what your name says or change the name. Anyway, we are going back, I do believe it is towards this basement site once again. Let's see how they hold it this time. It seems they may play a little less aggressive. They did manage to find the two picks, of course, early on, but they lost 2 of their lives. So in the end, it was just going back to equals. And then obviously, Ruhr did manage to play it just a little bit better and just take control, find the picks, find the heads. So Noetic, they're going to have to play this a little differently, as it seems. Maybe try find an opening pick, maybe play a bit more passive. We're just going to have to see how they managed to play this round out.
Yeah, it'll
10
be.
seconds to
Well,
go.
I'm fully anticipating a similar amount of aggression to come out from Noetic, but not exactly the type of maniac play that they were running with last time around, where it was everyone jumping out as soon as just any point of contact was made. But something interesting that I'm looking forward to is more playing around these Thunderbird Kona stations. And there was a point where Nakua was caught up in the bedroom. And I think someone else on Noetic did this too, where they took a heal for their last bit. And before rotating out, they had destroyed the station, obviously, so that their opponents didn't get any bonus HP. And Matrix is going to have no HP, and neither will Heyman. As, again, early aggression coming out from Noetic this time will result in very big success so far. It's 5-on-3 with a minute down in the round. And all that's been said back for it is about half of Naqua's health.
Yeah, it just seems like they decided to play even the exact aggression we saw in the last round, and it's paid off, obviously. Cokes does manage to find one in return. He does lose 80% of his HP as well. I mean, they still have a good chunk of the round left, but in that time, they're going to have to clear out these top 4 players and push the site, and then manage to win the round as well. It seems very unlikely. I can't lie at this moment in time. Coke series, he's moving his way in towards the bar. I don't think a single drone has been used just yet, so Kutcher could have a free pick on his hands if he picks at the right moment, and the pick gets found for Nago as he does take down the player as well. And, well, all of a sudden, they've all fallen to pieces, and it's left on the book, and he just gets taken out as well. His head gets taken off. Every single player absolutely destroyed there. Noetic managed to take the first map.
Yeah, and very comfortably at that, moving into Bank. They'll be starting on defense for that one. But 7-2, only I think 3 rounds were traded back very quickly in about a 10-second span on the entry kills. But all 9 rounds were opening engagements won by Noetic. Obviously, 2 of them didn't go their way, both on Church Arsenal, but fantastic starting gunfights from Noetic. They're absorbing map control on Club so comfortably, so quickly, and they really tried to make that map a speed run. It was just over only 40 minutes for that 7-2, so a lot of very fast-paced rounds, and I'm interested to see if they'll be able to keep up this aggression going into Bank, where, again, we'll see if they keep up that customary, or rather trademark, high speed, high intensity defenses that they just showed on Clubhouse. But before we head to Bank, we'll be taking a short break, getting everything set up on our end. So stick around for map 2 here between Noetic and Ruhrsports in just a few minutes.
You know how I feel.
It's just best on this mirror window trying to stave them off, but Mitchell coming in.
You know how I feel.
He's gonna take down Poison. He's gonna make it a 4v4 for Sneak.
You know how I feel.
That maybe not even Valkyrie herself, and she is aware.
It's a new life.
He's not aware that Envy's here, and Envy will pick him up.
And I'm feeling.
Also on 1 HP, I didn't notice that one.
And I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine.
Maybe other operators, other enemy players that he's able to pick off. Mako here is also very aggressive, and he's gonna make sure that his feet is Clutcher here is also on 1 HP. I didn't notice that one. So 2 of these players are really low, and Mako is I don't even saw that there was a player behind that one player, and he's gonna get a quad kill here. A triple. What's happening? He's just running around him in circles right now. It looks like he's bulletproof.
And half HP is even more flawless to get torn away, but a lovely turn as he kept some form of information that ends. They know the plan. Sky down that Ash, a lovely run up and catching the kill. Searching for more. That fire gas force a blade son of a sunlight. He didn't have the bullets. He swaps the pistol, still picks up the triple kill. It doesn't matter. For the first tap, for the quadra kill. A flawless round.
It might really make a difference here, but Echo is alive. Blue is still with the yokai drone up, and the gas canister is gonna go out, and Echo is gonna deny the plan. They're gonna have to back up. There is no chance. Another canister is gonna deny something right now. If he wants, the gas canister is gonna finish off the sledge. What even happened there? Kappa is gonna push out from the breach. He's gonna get a headshot on top of the canister. He's gonna start running as well. Blue is gonna deny it again. There is no way this is happening right now. Blue is doing everything. They should have killed him with a nade, but they weren't able to. The people from below, they won't be able to deny. They are gonna be able to smash and really bring it back home here as he gets the first kill, and he won't be able to connect with the second. Echo is gonna win it out on 1 HP. Blue just did everything for his team that he should have done.
But they're gonna be caught down, and Salva's gonna find one. And the plot's gonna be down. If they get this caught down, it's gonna be the game, but it's gonna be 42. And the plot's gonna be down. It's gonna be one of the situation. It's all wrong. It's just happy. Oh my god, it's all going down. It's just offside. Settlement. It's gonna be done. It's gonna be a 1v1 situation. If Sheriff manages to keep this alive, play everything on it. Oh my god. Oh my god, what a clutch. Oh my god. What a clutch. They've been gaming the first win of the whole season for them, and it's all on Chapapi's hands. What a game this was! What a game!
2 on 5 is a quick swing. Nako will put it into a 1 on 5. Nako trying to hit the deck, but he cannot. Not looking too good. Getting that gone onto the Banshee. Another onto Skies. This went from out of the realm of possibility to winnable.
He's gonna just keep face checking here towards Memo. Looks like everything is clear, but he doesn't know that there's a player behind the bomb. He's gonna able to get the headshot, man. A quad kill for Alex right now. He's gonna be looking for the last one. He doesn't have the fuser yet. Remember that? What's the name? What is that?
how I feel.
It's just best on this mirror window trying to stave them off, but Mitchell coming.
You know how I feel.
He's gonna take down Poison. He's gonna make it a 4v4 for Sneak.
You know how I feel.
That maybe not even Valkyrie herself, and she is aware.
It's a new life.
He's not aware that Envy's here, and Envy will pick him up.
And I'm feeling.
Also on 1 HP, I didn't notice that one.
And I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for waiting just a bit as we are trying to get this series handled right now. We've gotten through a very fast map 1 here on Clubhouse with Noetic taking it so handily, 7-2. I am still Cherish. Still with me is my co-caster for the day, Excellent. And what are you feeling going into Bank here for this map 2? Thinking about how map 1 went.
Honestly, with this map, when it was in the map pool previously, like about a year and a half ago now, it could have been such a frag heavy map. Like obviously the highlight I'd say that when this map ever got played, there was 2 games. It was in this the Invitational. It was either the BDS game. I'm not too sure who they were playing. I think it might have been the NIP game. It could be one previously, or the finals against SSG and NIP. This was a couple of years ago now. The amount of frags that got found in that map, just because of how linear some parts of the map are and how open other parts are, it seems like long gunfights are ensured, but so are really close range gunfights. And with the way Noetic have been playing, it seems like if they keep playing the way they did in the last map, they should be able to pull it off. Obviously, strategy can come back into it. Noetic may not be as ready for this map as we saw them for the last one. We're just gonna have to wait and see how both teams manage to play out on this map.
Yeah, I definitely think, if I'm trying to remember back to that as well. I think that was the last time actually that Bank was played in competitive play was the SI 2020. So yeah, about a year and a half ago now. But it was very frag heavy. There was a bit of a meta shift as well towards starting to work in a lot of these interesting castle roam strats the same way that teams were working in SSG roams on Clubhouse from the basement up. But I'm interested what strats have pulled their way in, both that we had seen in the past as well as anything new that we may see. I'm still believing probably that the basement site will be very strong still. I think that outside of that, though, it probably is an attacker heaven yet again, the way that it was before, where a lot of these sites are awkward open areas that you can't really contest all that simply. So I'm interested how Noetic will fare with this very aggressive defense that they like to run, especially that they showed on Clubhouse, because I think Bank can work well for that, but it could also, if you're not successful with that, it very, very easily could swing in the favor of the attacking side so quickly, just because this map is so easy to take over control of.
Yeah, see, compared to Clubhouse, like we saw last map, Clubhouse has a lot of linear doors, which if you go through, it's almost certain death. Whereas this map, longer angles and crossfires can be held much easier with certain parts of the map, of course. There's a lot of ways you can shut off flanks, a lot of long corridors as well, so Ruhr may be able to play a little bit better here. They're just going to have to learn to play off of each other. And then for Noetic, they're going to have to be a bit more careful because, of course, it was an attacker side map, and probably still is. We're just going to have to wait and see because we haven't seen it played competitively just yet. But if Noetic can play their cards correctly, they should be able to do some sort of funky stuff. But Ruhr, they need to bring this back now. Obviously, the first 2 bans coming in, Hibana, the Thatcher, very expected bans. Maverick is going to be the lone man in play. The same bans from last game so far. Who are you expecting on the defense?
When it comes to the defense, I would have to say, I don't know, honestly. Cade is not surprising given that Thatcher is off the board. It'll probably be a Valkyrie again, honestly. She's also very strong on this map because, like you said, it's a lot of open areas and a lot of wide, long angles that the defense would love to get on their help. But no, it is instead a Mira who also is very strong here. We'll get to see. It's interesting too, actually, that now that I'm thinking about it, how the defensive meta has shifted on some of these maps. As I know, Clubhouse was never really this super good Mira map, but we didn't see any Mira at all on there. As I'm talking slow to try and mentally process why we're going staff and open room first.
Yeah, honestly, both teams on the very first round have gone to the most unlikely site. We saw bar and stage, and now we're seeing staff room and open area. We're going to see a 6-pick from Necro going onto the Valkyrie, which was left in play. Fair play to be picking onto that, giving your team some intel. Well, I mean, you already have the intel with Clutcher on the Echo, but he's more used for the plant denial, whereas Valkyrie used for more general information as well. And I mean, you have bulletproof camo available to you as well. And one thing you need to point out here, shields. They have 2 of them. That's going to be really troublesome to get rid of. Of course they have frag grenades with Sledge, they have frag grenades, Matrix playing the Iana, sorry, as well. So they can be dealt with, obviously having no Jaeger. Regardless, it's going to be very scary if you come around the corner and there's just a man behind the shield staring at you.
Left before insertion. 5
Yeah.
seconds to go.
There's a lot of shield play so far, as well as castle play coming in for Noetic. It's a bit of an interesting hold that they've got stacked up so far. I know when we last saw this map, this site was actually coming in big time because a lot of teams would run that vertical play that I was talking about. They would run going horizontally, or rather vertically, sorry, completely opposite of what I was meaning to say. Oh, this is going to be a fun minigame to watch Clutcher try and do. 3rd time's the charm. Come on, buddy. Yeah, we got it. But they would play a lot through the upstairs here in CEO, where Fox is currently, as well as through the basement, especially with a lot of these castle walls. So we'll be seeing more of a horizontal hold from Noetic here. Fox is going to get into an engagement, and not anymore. Naquo keeps things rolling. 10 straight opening kills for Noetic through 2 maps. They're doing good work so far here to start things off very early on Bank.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to be continuing that trend as another pick goes out by Nago as he takes out Matrix on the Iana. Already, we are seeing them in the advantage as we saw on almost every single round, last match as well. And with the last 3 remaining members, obviously they have the vertical control. They can start to open up some angles, start to make work with that. Obviously, we do see Coke playing the strike. He's still on the board, who should be able to do something about that, but you have to watch out for the staircases, you have to watch out for all these angles from below that you are opening up as well. So many things to be cautious about. Half the round, they still have to play with, yes, but do they have the manpower, do they have the willpower to pull this through and find the remaining, well, it's not remaining members, it's all of them, every single member on the side of Noetic is still on the board. Seems like we're going to be seeing a rotate by Cokes here. We're going to have to see what they can do from there, but no. Already, there we are. Oyster has now taken out Risky. 2 versus 5. Not looking hopeful.
Well, Flawless will be denied, but it is just up to Cokes, who was last seen hanging outside. And he's either taking far angles, or we're going to be taking timeout so far from Ruhr, or at least a, like, soft timeout here. will just give us the opportunity to talk about whatever from a very dominant first round for Noetic. There's not really any opening that Ruhr found, despite having good fast control upstairs. But losing Fox, I guess, that early on to Naqua's Nitro really made that much of a difference.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Like, Fox, him holding that position after he already got lit up was not the greatest of ideas, considering you know that C4s are potentially in play, and you're still holding the angle that you were holding seconds earlier after you got an engagement with the MPX, obviously being Valkyrie or Warden, who both have access to C4s. So staying in that location is not really the smartest thing to do, and it just lost him his life, and potentially even that probably did cost him the round. Obviously, having that early man deficit, your morale goes down, and then you start to worry about other things as well.
Yep, getting just, and they probably don't, they probably don't have the same level of stats, or even any. They're probably not sitting there saying, "Damn, 10 rounds in a row that we've gotten messed up here by Noetic. 10 rounds in a row that they have gotten their opening kill on us." They're probably not, sitting there thinking that, looking at that sort of thing. But, granted, it could be weighing in on them. They're probably not thinking, like I said, that it's 10 in a row, but they are thinking, man, we just can't catch a break against these guys. They seem to be everywhere. They seem to be able to do everything, and it's a struggle. So we'll see how now on Executive Office and CEO Office, 2 upstairs offices here on the 2nd floor, will fare for the side of Noetic. They've got an interesting little setup. No castle as well, but Valkyrie still on the board, as well as a Thunderbird coming on out for Skies this time through. Will be on our newest operator from the native nations of the US, specifically from Canada. But this will be a fun part of this map. We've seen this so many times years ago. It's just Windows on this site, and that is always fun to get to watch and to get to play.
See, with this site, of course, with the old version, it was almost impossible to defend because of all these long angles. It's a little bit easier now. Obviously, with most of them being boarded up now by those metal sheets that you do see at the front. There. Yeah, there we are. There they are. There is still the very most right or very most left, depending on the way you're looking. Still exposed, but when that wall gets reinforced, you can't really do anything about that. There we are. There we are, though. Not half. Fox finding the first pick onto Boyster. And as we've seen, whoever gets the first pick controls the round. Let's see if that trend can still keep going, as it is a 5 versus 4 now. And nope, there it is. The refrag comes in by Nago onto Fox. He found 1 pick, and his job is done now. He's gone dead on the ground, and Nago finds another, and he goes for a swing. Can he find the third? No, he can't. The refrag comes out there by Matrix, bringing it to a 3 versus 3. We've seen this so many times. Very early picks coming in, and it goes to that 3 versus 3. Obviously, last time we saw this was that basement defense on Clubhouse. Ruhr won that one. Can they do it again? We're just going to have to wait and see. Obviously, the members of Noetic holding strong, but there we are once again. Matrix finds 1 to Clutch, and Nako playing quite close. He manages to find the intro to him, and he's going for the confirm. The C4 goes out, and it will confirm that pick, bringing it to a 2 versus 2. Your Thermite's dead. No more of that hard wall to be open. Sorry.
Yeah, just the 2 parts from that ace charge here on the right wall. Now they'll face on the left from Skies, but it's just Coax and Matrix against 2 full health members of Skies and Naquo. Naquo still just as aggressive as before. The drones are coming in here for Ruhr. They do have as well the man drones from the Iana, but a quick swing on the nade prep will take down Coax. Coax is downed at the least as Naquo is able to get out. Matrix can't confirm his compatriot just yet. 25 seconds to go, and the sledge has rotated outside to get revived here, but Naquo is watching ever so patiently. He's going to down Matrix this time around. He can't stop. Naquo is a menace this round so far, and a quick shot will confirm the sledge. 3 kills here for him, 2 as well for Nago on the backside of things. And you're right. While you were right that the round was controlled at first by Ruhr, their first opening kill does not end anything, or does not end well at all. They're gonna lose out the round here.
And there we are. Finally, the correlation of the person finding the first pick finding the round is over. We did see there. There is an exception. What a menace he is. Absolutely beautiful plays coming in. He's just holding them, finding the injure. He got revived. And then it didn't matter in the end. They both get picked up anyway. Just holding the angle on the breach, playing the SMG-11. What a menace to society that man is. You need to stop him before he takes down your entire team again. Third round now. We're going to archives. And is it Tellers? Is the other room Tellers? Let's find out. I'm not too sure. I think it is. I'm going to call it Tellers. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So yeah, we're going to the site. It is Tellers. There we are. Yes, we're going to the site. You do see Ivan. You can either go for two ways of holding this. You can play above and play the vertical angles, or you can do what they are doing here. Playing the horizontal angle, holding onto open area as well as kitchen, because obviously with these horizontal angles you still have a lot of map control. Yes, you don't have the angles from above, and you're gonna have to watch out for hatches as well. You can then there's a lot of ways to retake site. There's a lot of cross angles you can get with your team, whereas if it was a more vertical orientated hold, you can't really get that same power of holding cross angles with the majority of your team. We're just going to see how Noetic managed to play this. I am expecting one or maybe two players to go upstairs, as we are seeing Skies at the moment, as well as Boister as well. We're going to have to see how they manage to hold this.
Yeah, I'm a bit interested. Granted, again, this is, first time through all this map yet again. But another opening kill, this time very early on for Ruhr. It'll be the Sledge picking that one up to Pokes onto Boister. Nego has to try and get on out as best he can. He will be taking more aggressive engagements still, despite the drone work coming in from Ruhr, and he's not letting up at all as he's found Fox. This time the castle has roamed on up as well and won his gunfight against Heyman, leaving Risky as the lone hard breacher here for Ruhr, and already the round is swung so heavily in Noetic's favor, from down 4 men to 5 to 4 to 2 in favor of them. It's just Matrix and Risky up alive, and we haven't even hit halfway mark on the round.
Honestly, what has just happened? It seems like this map is being completely flipped on its head. They found the first pick, which was very nice, but they're just losing every single man. Since that first pick's been found, they've not found a single one right after that, and there we are. It's been cleaned up. The round is already over. Absolutely beautiful picks coming in there. Obviously, a lot of mistakes from the side of Ruhr as well. The first player they lost should not have happened. Like, he had an advantage, and then as well, letting the castle rotate his way up the stairs, that is really bad. Considering it's castle, you have a player dead as well. Should be someone, like, you can have drones there, you can have someone watching it. Just letting a castle, and the fact he has the UMP, possibly the worst gun in the game as well, and you're losing your gunfights to that, man. You just can't let that happen. This just shows at the minute why Noetic are winning. They are playing really well as a team. They're finding these picks, even when they lose a man. They're not letting the morale drop. They're bringing it back, and they're just slaughtering every single person in their side.
Yeah, very well done so far by Noetic, and their aggression hasn't let up either, which is very nice to see. Very interesting to see that they keep rocking this way. 3 rounds in, and Naquo is 6-0, by the way. Him and Naga combined for 10 kills on their own. While on the side of Ruhr, they have as many kills together as Naquo does. So,
oh, no.
Across 4 members, they have 6 kills, as Risky is 0 and 3. And Naquo has 6 himself. That's not to count his team's additional 9. So very solid so far from Noetic indeed, as they are very dominant in these rounds. We headed back to Staff and Open with a very similar, if not the exact same lineup. I think Naquo has opted for a Legion instead of a Valkyrie, who doesn't see much play either. He's really fallen off since I think the initial damage was removed. I think was the last change to Legion that was provided. But yeah, it is nice to see a lot of, comfort from Noetic on this map. As Naquo confirms number 7 with a nice headshot onto Cokes and continues the pressure that Noetic have been putting forward here onto Ruhr on their attack.
It honestly must be so disheartening losing these members so early on, especially when you're losing 3-0. It's just not really the greatest thing to see. An interesting thing to see, however, that the fact that Lockers has not been played a single time. Obviously, it's the most favorable site, or at least it was. And Noetic are doing without, and they're doing really well. Honestly, even if they lost every round on their defense from now on, it wouldn't matter. They've done enough, but it seems like they're not going to slow down anytime soon, as another pick does get found by that Legionnaire. Naquo, he starts to retreat, but what is that? A beautiful little swing gets found, and he turns around, takes his head off. The refrag is finally there, but once again, 2 versus 4. What are they going to make of this? As we see him Boister as well, playing really aggressive on this smoke. It seems he knows that he's got a good chance of winning these gunfights with this SMG-11. He's going for more aggression. We're seeing him go for the swing now, playing behind this desk, playing quite safe. I don't think we know where he is at the moment. He's going for the swing. He sees the player's head, doesn't manage to hit it though, and a pick comes in by Fox there, taking him down, bringing it to a 3 versus 2. This is quite even at the moment, but Skies, another SMG-11 player, is playing really aggressive. What is it with the SMG-11 today and just playing super aggro? Oh my god! A beautiful little quick pick there. Oh, this is going awfully for them at the moment. He finds another.
Oh my god.
Noetic, clean up that round. The SMG-11, what is going on? That was insane.
Rub it in, Skies. That round was something to say the least. 4-0 now for Noetic, as I watched Naquo do a slalom, do a 180, and take Matrix's head clean off. Naquo looked like he was running with his head cut off, and then just fried Matrix like it was nothing. So, wow. This is...
What can you say about that round? It was just... The words can't describe what just happened, honestly. That was such an interesting round. Like, the plays that the members of Noetic are pulling off are just absurd. Like, you're seeing that the support players playing aggressive. You saw the smoke just playing extremely aggro. Obviously, he got taken down, but then you have yet another SMG-11 player waiting, and he manages to find them both. He avenges his teammate. But here we are, finally, we're seeing this site get played. Basement, Tachanka, obviously, as well as last game, the basement sites is usually where he thrives. But because of all, obviously, oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no, no.
This, so early on when I first started casting, this is what I hated casting. I despised casting Blue Stairs Simulator, where you have the shield and all the, oh yes, you can't even look in there. You have 2 or 3 ADSs and a shield and most likely a smoke usually. I'm not sure who we're going to set up here for Noetic. I might be Boister on the Spaz 15 Thunderbird, apparently. But yeah, this used to be awful to push through, because this wasn't even, this is like the predecessor to Jaeger Wamai holding in a lot of obnoxious positions. Brazil really started this strat out and really loved it, and I really hated it. Like I said, this was awful to watch, awful to deal with, because at a point you either destroy the shield or you just have to throw bodies at the problem. Thankfully, because of the ADS changes, it shouldn't be as obnoxiously just overpowered now, but I'm interested how Ruhr's going to deal with it, because they have not gotten to it yet, and it's 1:30 left in this round.
Yeah, I mean, minute 30, like you said, they've taken control of this top floor. They're starting to open up some vertical angles. Obviously, there are players that they're going to have to deal with, especially being Skies on the player on those blue as well. It seems like the shield has been destroyed. He's going to fall his way back to Skies. Does manage to find the first pick onto Matrix, and he finds a second as well onto Coates, as he just decides to drop down the janitor hatch, gets his head taken clean off, and here we are once again. The early advantage going to Noetic. 5 versus 3, a minute and 10 left. They're all focusing on different things at the minute. They're not really working together to try and clear out this player. Like I said, when it comes down to this, and there's still a player just being a rat, it's just awful to try deal with, and he finds yet another onto Risky. There's only 2 members left, or both of them playing inside Archives. He does get warbanged finally. He's finally been shut down, but it's not enough. 4 versus 2 is what has happened, I do believe, every single round. Oh no! Oh! You can't be missing those, Boyster. Close range shotgun and you lose that gunfight. I mean, 1 HP is basically what Fox is left on now. Any single tiny little minuscule bullet, shrapnel, whatever you call it, fire, he's gone. He's going to be really cautious with the way he pushes down now, as there are only 25 seconds left. The push is now or never. It seems like they may just be going for a hatch drop, as there's not much available to them. Fox, he's just getting ready, holding the angle as we do see. Oh, Heyman. He seems like he's going to be dropping down into Vault. There seems there is a player there on the receiving end, and there he has been taken down. A pick gets found by Fox, however, bringing it to a 2 versus 1. Kutcher, he's holding the angle, he sees the player's head, takes him down. Noetic 5 in a row. What a beautiful showing from them in this best of 3 so far.
Yeah, very sound so far on Bank, to say the least. 5 in a row. To reiterate your point, as we're headed into our final defense for Noetic. As it's crazy, there doesn't seem to be any answer for whatever Noetic wants to do, as, like we just saw, Skies was just playing shooting gallery upstairs, fighting whatever and whoever he wanted, and was just allowed to, really. So it's interesting to see that Noetic has this just freedom from Ruhr, and they're able to take it so handily. As now, last sight will be CEO and executive offices. We have a Mozzie 6-picked here for Clutcher, an operator that I'm sure we would have seen a lot of on Bank, and I think we did when it was last in rotation, but I'm interested that we haven't seen any until this round. And even more so, we got a Nook on the other side of the board here for Ruhrsports coming out from Cokes. That'll be interesting to see, because this map is very big without a whole lot of cameras on it to cover a lot of these areas. And especially thanks to that jammer, she won't be setting off these annoying beepers that are set around the map. Quite possibly one of my least favorite parts of this game. Granted, it does require you to be like, hey, spatially aware, and you now have to avoid the beepers, but it just becomes mostly tedious more than anything interesting. But at least the Nook won't have to worry about those.
Yeah, she won't have to, but I mean, at this point, it seems like they want to at least get 1 round on their attack. So they're going for this very exotic, very out of the box pick that you never really see. And we're gonna have to see how it decides to play out, obviously. But we are seeing Skies here, playing in open area, playing so aggressively like we've seen time and time again over these past 2 maps. Obviously, after this round, I'm expecting him to go back on the Yana like we did see, but at the moment, that is not too important, as we are seeing Cokes. Now he's moved his way up these blue stairs. He's waiting for someone to swing him. It seems like at some point he's going to have to rotate his way to the top 4, try and find a pick or 2. But the issue with that, obviously with the way he's pushing, his team will take control of top square by then, so he's going to have to go for a rotate. Won't be too strong, but I mean, at the moment, taking out Skies is going to have to be his main priority, and Skies manages to find the first pick onto Fox. Not a very team-coordinated pinch then coming in from those 2 players there. And oh no! No drones coming in. All the picks coming out on the side of Noetic. Obviously, Pokes does find that 1 pick onto Skies after so long. But again, it's so weird to see. It's a 4 versus 2 every single round. What is going on? Noetic are just completely in control of this map. Was this even their map choice?
No, this was Ruhr's map choice, which is so shocking that we are seeing almost a 6-0 half from Noetic because this isn't their map. This was Ruhr's map, and Noetic has been making a claim on it very handily so far. As, wow, a quick shot from Cokes. We'll take the head off Boyster. But it's an over round. We have 6-0 now. As we're... Wow.
It's just complete dominance. Like, you can't really talk much about this. It's 4 versus 2 every single round. Noetic finding so many picks, and Ruhr just weren't responding. I'd say their biggest weakness on their attack was just the lack of team coordination and the lack of drones as well. Like, we didn't see, like, well, if they did have these flank drones, where were they? Where were these calls? Because the amount of times a player manages to just, like, creep his way up some stairs or creep his way through a doorway, it's just not helping them whatsoever. And as well, losing early players to stupid gunfights. Obviously, you can't really stop that, but drone them out, work as a team, pinch them correctly. Like the misplay we saw there with the Iana, pushing in a little bit too early, then getting picked off, and then Nook was left on her own. Did find the pick in the end, but it wasn't enough. They've lost 6 consecutive rounds. They're on match point, series point, and Noetic seem like the much stronger team at the moment.
Yep, very solid behind Naquo and Skies, the pairing that has been dominant for a very long time from these two. They've been, I think the Skies was picked up after a little bit, if I'm remembering correctly. Skies was never initially on the winning rosters, but he got added after a point, and from that point on, those two as an entry duo became insanely dominant. So we'll get to see how they work in this first round on the bank attack. Interestingly, Fox is running Pulse with the M1014, the shotgun here, and there's also a Rook in play. So I'm very intrigued by this so far. But off the bat here, we'll be seeing an aggressive hold up top as Matrix is gonna lose his head.
Oh.
I thought he got the shot back onto Nago, but he did not, in fact, as it is now someone else's turn, I think, potentially. It'll be Cokes trying to take the gunfight next time up against Nago. Boyster coming into a fight here. As... Wow. Did anyone rappel down? I hope... Nope, they are!
Oh,
okay! Naquo is making his way down and has been shot like a clay pigeon out of the sky from the pistol from Fox. But...
What is going on at the minute? So many strange plays coming in there. I've never seen anyone rappel down there.
I'm pretty sure Skies went down first from there.
Like, what? Spider-Man! Literally. Like, I thought that was the Iana. I thought Skies was pushing up on his own then. Oh no, the flashbangs are going out. He's completely blind. Risky, I'm sorry, mate, but it's over. The family is going in as well. A second one soon to follow, but yeah, he's been taken down, but from behind. Oh no. He only managed to find one. Does get picked up. It's all on Heyman in a 1 versus 3. He's just sprinting his way up. Don't know really what's happening at the minute. Oh, the C4 into Castle Barricade doesn't really do anything. He's waiting for the spray, but the swing's coming around. Will he find his head? It doesn't seem like he will, and there we have it. Skies takes his head off. Noetic win the series in really convincing fashion.
7-2, 7-0. Noetic is looking dominant as ever, even despite changing up Keto and wow, I can't believe I've already forgotten. I feel so bad because I love casting Noetic and I love this team. Crack and Keto, sorry. So even though they changed up the two of them, Noetic haven't lost any of their stride. Granted, they haven't lost Skies and Naquo, so they've got the two of them sprinting teams down wherever. But Nago has worked his way magically into this team. He looks very comfortable with this team, and again, they haven't, lost a single step and they look very good. So they are confirmed for our grand finals yet again. A common site at this point. Is it a Talent League finals without Noetic, basically? As they'll be in their fourth in a row, looking to win their fourth in a row. But well played game from Ruhrsports, regardless, as I believe tomorrow is our other semifinals that will be
Yeah.
Carlstead Kings and Blue Jays to see who will play Noetic in the finals and Ruhr for third place. And that one should be pretty good as well, I think.
Yeah, I do believe it'll be a bit closer than the one we saw today. Both those teams have really good potential. I do think. Am I allowed to make predictions for tomorrow's game? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm I'm thinking that'll be. I think Blue Jays can pull a game off Kings, but I
yeah.
think it'll be 2-1 Kings.
Oh, I was going the other way. I believe it's going to
You
be a
think?
Blue Jays 2-1. Yeah. I
Okay,
I think it's going to be the first map's going to go to Blue Jays. Then Kings will win a map, but in the end, I do think it's going to be a Blue Jays win. Might go overtime though. We'll just have to see tomorrow or whenever it
yeah,
is.
but I think we've got Boyster coming in for an interview as he's been dragged on in. So first off, congrats on your victory, sir, and welcome on in.
Thanks.
So starting things off, how just curious, how long have you been playing with the Noetic guys so far?
In the team, I guess 2 weeks, I think.
Okay.
Wow.
I played with them
Wow.
before,
Yeah.
like because we are friends, but instant ranked or chill match,
Mhm.
but not in comp. So yeah, 2 weeks,
Okay.
and
So
Nago
2
is
weeks.
like
Okay.
back in like 4 days ago. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
So yeah, looking at that then, going into this ban phase, because you guys are newer as a team as a whole, um, were you really comfortable with the maps that you guys got, or especially with something like Bank, was there a bit of discomfort or being afraid because you didn't really show it winning 7-0, but I mean, yeah. Did you guys get maps that you like to see, or were you guys worried at all for Bank?
I guess we can say that because we don't have a bad map. We actually good in every map. We don't have like that difficult in few map, but yeah, we got good map, but we don't have a bad map on the map
Mhm.
itself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, it seems like that is the case. You showed such a strong performance that game. Like, I expected Bank to be a bit closer, obviously being their map pick. I thought maybe they had some strategy to claim a few rounds, but no, you took every single round. And I mean, I don't know if you and your team noticed every single round, it ended up being a 4 versus 2. So you just getting those opening picks, like placing someone like Skies on this like weird roam area. He seems to find a lot of opening picks. And just as a team, you have such great coordination, especially on Bank. Like Clubhouse, it was amazing as well. But Bank, that was just exceptional. You just found the picks and you were just tearing them apart.
Yeah, like I think they were actually not like ready for our playstyle. Like they changed two player, me and Nago and you. But yeah, I think they was not ready for our level. I think.
Yeah, I can definitely say that for sure. You guys played very aggressive, and it was very nice to see. You guys played almost slower maps at a very fast pace. So yeah, I mean, you said you guys don't have a bad map, but going into Bank, were you guys really just thinking it would be that much of a clean sweep, or did that even surprise you guys or something?
To be honest, like we scream bank I think two or three times. So yeah, we were not actually very comfortable. We were gonna say yeah we're gonna like 7-0, but yeah we just screamed before against good teams. We were good, like that was a good scream. So yeah, I think we were ready for the match. I think yeah, that's we don't expect a 7-0, but we expect to destroy them. Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, that's a good mindset to have, and expecting that you're going to win the game going into the game, that is such good mentality. You play so calmly as a team, and honestly, you definitely deserve that win. Like, there's no doubt about that. You are the better team, and I can't wait to see you guys in the finals once
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're gonna be fun.
going into that too. Are you know, is there anything about the finals that you're worried about or looking forward to, or are you just thinking it's kind of like another game, you know?
I guess I can't say like that would be easy, but we don't have that pressure on it actually.
Hmm. Okay. So it's kind of just whatever team comes in, it's going to be business as usual, and you guys are just going to go and play,
Yeah.
or you know.
Yeah. That definitely is a match like all of them, like the semifinal or the match. Yeah.
Mhm. All right.
Ooh.
Well, I have nothing left to ask. Do you?
I've got
Excellent.
one thing here. So, out of the remaining teams that could be in the finals, who do you want to face?
I guess. Mm, I guess I think blue. We want to play Blue Jays. But yeah, we don't like even really care about who we're gonna play against. But Blue Jays should be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that should be good. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right. So I think that will do it for us asking any questions, and we do appreciate you coming on in. Congrats on the win again, and
Thanks.
yeah, best of luck going forward in the finals tomorrow, this Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations, man. You played really well as a team.
Thanks. See ya. Have a good night, boys.
Have a good night. Well, that'll do it then for us as well. We don't have any more games, as a very fast 7-2-7-0 came out, as all but 2 rounds also went had opening frags for Noetic. Just the definition of dominance today over these 16 rounds that we saw.
16 rounds, thinking about that. Wow. That is
Over
like
2 maps.
Yeah, if you go like you can get almost that amount of rounds in a single game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've just they're like, no, let's just win the first game easily. Oh, here comes the second one. There's a 7-0. Complete dominance coming in from Noetic. There's nothing you can really say against them, really. They're just I can't wait to see them play again, honestly.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to getting to watch Saturday. Because it'll be a very great match, to say the least. I mean, I know we keep talking about that and saying that, but regardless of who they play, who gets to play, it'll be very good and very nice to see. But yeah, again, that will do it for us. I've been Cherish. Co-casting with me tonight was excellent, and behind the cameras and production and everything today was Mr. Trippin, our good buddy Yele. So thank you all for watching tonight, and we would like to shout out, who is it again? Howling Media, just so I don't accidentally shout out past sponsors of the season. Thank you, Howling Media, for helping out this season of Talent League. And that'll do it for us. So thank you, everyone, once again for watching, and tune in tomorrow for Blue Jays and Carlstead Kings. Other than that, have a good night.
Goodbye.
You know how I feel.
Let's just back on this mirror window, try and stave them off. Mitchell coming.
You know how I feel.
He's gonna take down Poison. He's gonna make it a 4v4 for his team.
You know how I feel.
That maybe not even Valkyrie herself, and she is aware.
It's a new life.
He's not aware that Envy's here, and Envy will pick him up.
And I'm feeling.
Also on 1 HP, I didn't notice that one.
And I'm feeling good. That is when you shine. You know how I feel. Scent of the past.